I'm in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Welcome back, welcome Black to Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. This is a Friday the 13th, October 13th, and today's show title will be called FBI Warns Black Identity Extremists Pose Growing Threat. Basically, me and my co-host Smoke, we're going to be talking about a lot of various topics and subjects. The black identity extremist shit that the Fed's talking about, regular Trump shit as normal, Waka Flocka comments about not being black, and oh yeah, that Eminem fucking freestyle shit. So guest call in number 646-716-4664. Go ahead, bring my co-host in. Smoke, are you there?
Yes, sir. What's good?
What's going on?
Good Friday. In the building again, you know.
Yeah, man. Stupid ass fucking Blog Talk Radio. Yeah, man. So shit was good.
Shit, man. Other than being tired of them motherfuckers. It was a good Friday, you know what I'm saying? Friday the 13th. If you got any superstitious beliefs, but I mean, you know, other than that, you know what I mean? Just ready to get to it.
Yeah, let me laugh at black people with that stupid ass superstitious shit. Like that's just you know, I don't know. You know what it is, man? I think I'm just getting old. You know what I'm saying? I'm just getting old, man, and I don't know. This shit just look too fucking silly. All this shit just looks silly. You know what I'm saying? Like I just,
you know how it is, but it's always mentioned. So every time on Friday the 13th comes, it's like, you know, it's made. You know, it's a mention in the news, or you know what I mean, your local news, whatever.
Let me tell you,
like
Friday
people actually say, like,
and I
talking
hear
about
black people
bad luck and all that shit.
When I hear all that dumb shit, first thing I think to myself is, this is why we in the condition we are. Because niggas we're not in reality. We don't operate off of reality. We operate off of fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is stupid. I get it if you're young and you're a kid and you don't know no better. I don't get that shit when you're an adult. That shit's weird to me.
I don't really see people believing that shit.
Listen,
like, I do.
Man, come on, man. You got niggas in New York that won't cross fucking poles. Like, you got police killing you, and you need to tell me if you running from police, you going because you don't want to cross the pole and you gonna run back. Like, I can't deal with this stupid shit. I really just wish. I really hope, man, that none of this dumb shit rub off on the next generation, y'all. But who teach the next generation is the fools now. So it's like, I can't. That shit is weird to me, man. I just can't understand that shit. Like, yo, like, I wish I had words for how I felt. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I hear this shit, I hear even grown-ass people. If you a kid, like, when my son tell me, Dad, I'm afraid of Halloween. And I was like, okay. So then I was like, you ain't got to worry about it because we don't participate in that shit. But you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I get why he might be afraid. He a kid. He a child. You know what I'm saying? He's a child. He's a little boy. He's 5 years old. This is first acknowledgement of Halloween or some shit. You got niggas 55 years old talking about sweeping a broom over your fucking foot. And I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's that time of the year, you know what I mean? It's that portrayal of Halloween. They were showing the, jack-o'-lanterns and fucking ghouls and goblins and shit like that. So, kids is going to pick up on that part of it, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, man.
I tell my son straight up, ignore that. I call all that shit weirdo shit. My son be like, oh, look, Dad. Because, you see the shit on TV. So he'll be like, trying to break it down. He think I don't know about it, so he's trying to explain it to me. But I like to have conversation and dialogue with my son, so I'll play along and we'll just have a cold conversation about it. But at the end, I let him know that's weirdo shit, and we don't do weirdo shit in this house. Straight up, we don't do weirdo shit in this house. All that shit is weirdo shit, and I want him when he go outside in the streets, that's how he's looking at it. Oh, that's some weirdo shit. If that's what you do, okay. We don't do that in my house. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. That's weirdo shit. And then you listening to these grown-ass adults talk and everything. Like, what I realized at 36 is weakness and fear and scary, all that energy in adults, that's a pet peeve of mine. Like, I'm starting to really realize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really bothers me when I hear grown adults talk about fear and scared and scary and hoogada boogada boogada and, you know what I'm saying, black people. A black cat cross your path, bad luck. A black raven. But these is black people. You know what I'm saying? Don't even realize you're picking up on everything black is negative. You fool. That means this ain't your culture. Right. So how you scared of somebody else's cultural practices? So that's why I just feel like, and these are, like I said, if you're a kid, I understand because you're young. You got a lot of shit, information bombarding you, and you don't really know how to really, you know what I'm saying, chop that all the way up. But an adult, yo, that shit trips me the fuck out because I'm sitting over here and I'm like, yo, you grown. You grown. How you saying that? Grown-ass adults. Oh, and I'm scared. And you know what they say? If you do this and you do that and you do that. Like, oh, my God, yo. So none of y'all even tried? I remember when I was a kid, I used to hear the don't step on the crack, you break your mother's back, and 7 years bad luck if you break mirrors. You know what I did?
Yeah, glass.
I broke a fucking mirror. Yeah. Ain't nothing was more fun than breaking glass. So, I mean, why would I'm going to break them? I break mirrors. I step on cracks. I went upstairs. My mother's still walking around. That's when I said, okay, that shit ain't real. Who the fuck don't none of this shit they telling you is real? You just believe this shit, black people?
It just plays back to religion, though, you know what I'm saying? Because if you could believe the concepts of the religions we be following, then you could believe that, you know what I'm saying? You could believe in a ghost or, you know what I'm saying, or some shit. So.
How about this? How about we already did a show on superstition or religion? We already did that. Superstition and religion is the same word.
Pretty much.
Superstition and religion, they're the same meaning. They're the same word. They're the same shit. Overly religious people are superstitious. They're the same shit. So superstitious people got religious. It's the same word. It ain't different. It's the same word. Even if you get older books in the Bible, and I shouldn't even say it because I don't know the verse and shit, right? I can't remember. But if you go to different Bibles, the word religious, and superstitious, they're interchangeable. They're an interchangeable word. And you really don't even have to break that down deep to even understand that. So it's just like basically what I'm saying is it's like, God, I really want black men to grow up into being a man. Black women to grow up into being a woman and carry ourselves as adults and put away these childish ideologies and games. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man, because, God, I mean, you got to remember, when we was young, our older heads around the age we are right now, they was all caught up in the drug game. So there was a lot of issues. There was a war. There was a lot of issues, I'm going to say. And the adult portion of the world was at war. You know what I'm saying? Was being attacked. And the youth portion of the world was being protected from, or trying to be protected and shielded from what was going on. And when that adult world broke down and fell apart, then the kids had to fend on their own. You know what I'm saying? Now those kids are coming into adulthood, and now they have to be the adult representatives for this new younger generation. So I think that's where my pet peeveness comes from, because I'm like, y'all act just like the fucking kids. Like, nobody wants to fucking grow up. You know what I'm saying? They want to still be children and shit. With children ideologies, children ways of moving and thinking. And I'm like, come on, man. We got to do better. But, yeah, that's a little side rant, though. But, yeah, did you hear, let me see. We got some Trump shit. We got the Waka Flocka. Should we do Waka Flocka? I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Did you hear the Waka Flocka shit?
Yeah. When he was on, Sway or one of them. He been doing I guess a promo or whatever. So I done seen him on quite a few interviews. Like I guess this past week or whatever. He was on Everyday Struggle today. Hot 97.
Yeah, I was watching it on Everyday Struggle. Yeah.
Breakfast Club. But it was another show that he might have been Sway's show where he said that.
It was Sway's show. I didn't know he was on Breakfast Club though.
Yeah, I want to say he was on there today, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I even heard the whole fucking Breakfast Club today. Or if I did,
I think it was Breakfast Club. He was on a bunch of them shit. So. Let me stop. I know he's on Everyday Struggle today, so that might have been.
Yeah, I know he's on Everyday Struggle. What you thought about the comments though? Well, what was the comment? So then we could build and discuss the comment.
Well, I mean, if we referring to the same thing, it was just the comments that everyone's been talking about is him, referring to himself, not referring to himself as black anymore. And in the quote, he was saying that he was confused as to what he is, and he stated that like his family is like is native, so. Pretty much, he's standing on the, a native heritage, and the fact that he's not standing as black. But he also admitted to being confused about it.
Mm-hmm. Now, before Waka said this, I don't know if I said this on the show or did I say this to you off the show. But when people talk to me about that whole DNA and your genealogy and all that shit, I told you, I say I'm original man. Where what planet? I mean what landmass I claim? Earth. I claim Earth is my landmass. Who am I? What's my nationality? Original man. What you mean by original man? I'm part of the group that was originally part of this planet. That's what I am. The end.
So I'm gonna read the quote. I'm gonna read his exact quote or whatever. So he says, and it was the Sway in the Morning show.
Yeah, I know it's Sway. Yeah, he did.
Look that up.
Sway.
The Sway in the Morning show.
97? Yeah, I didn't see the whole Hot 97, but I know when he mentioned it on Hot 97, he said, but that's a whole nother story.
Right.
Topic.
Right. That's what he was on. Yeah.
Right. And then today is where he really elaborated on. All right, now go ahead.
Right. Yeah, so Sway in the Morning. So he says, I'm not African American at all. My folks is not from Africa. A lot of people in this room, folks, ain't from Africa. Might be a couple, but just don't understand. I asked my grandmother, yo, grandma, what's your background? She said, Redfoot and Blacktail Indian. I said, what? She said, yeah, my mother and my father are 100% Indian. I asked my grandmother, and we got Cherokee in us, and European and Italian, a little Dominican. And later on in the convo, he said, I'm uneducated, I'm confused, but I damn sure not black. You're not going to call me black.
Now, all right, so all right, so now that you read the quote, you want to elaborate on your point before I get into my point?
Well, I mean, during the time, outside of the quote, he was speaking, he made a point of saying, black is not a status. Like, I think he continues on in that convo, and he's saying, black is not even a status. So when he said that, it was, to me, it's like, but even during this part of it, you had those, Moorish science undertones, you know what I'm saying? Then we said the black status quote or whatever, to that effect. You know what I mean? I started seeing that. So the one thing that I always laugh about with when you think about the Moorish doctrine and so forth, they always speak on, black not being a legal status. They always compare it to they say, I'm not a color, because that's what he said. I'm not a crayon. I'm not a crayon color. And they always say that. They make that example of, when they're speaking on black not being a legal status. And, it's a crayon. But what's funny about it is, black is not a status, but if you ask them, white is a status. So to me, it's just again, it's that, white is also a crayon in the inside the Crayola box or any crayon box. So when it goes back to the point of we still have this issue of not running away from being black, not wanting to be black. And then when you say, okay, well, you might have a point with that. What's the status? It's white. It's not any other color. It has to be white. So it's this undertone of, white being better, black being unlucky. It's Friday the 13th. Blacklist. You know what I'm saying? It's just it plays into that undertone of, the negative outlook of black. And that goes all the way down to black people. So it's black is bad. You don't want to be that. But white is a legal status, and you can get by with that. So that it just made me laugh when I was listening to it.
All right, now, yeah, that's some funny shit. But the funny thing to me is when I heard it, because like I said, this is the whole shit about me being 36. But born into the knowledge, right? Like my son is born into the knowledge, right? So what happened is, well, let me go from the beginning of Waka. I always liked Waka, right? And I remember, I'm gonna tell you when I started looking at Waka different. When everybody was saying Waka's stupid and dumb and all that shit like that, and slow and all that shit like that, I was like, yeah, that nigga sounds stupid as shit too. But then he said he just played dumb. And one of the books that he read was Machiavelli. So when he said that, I said, oh, okay, maybe this nigga is playing dumb. This is during the whole drop it to the floor, make it, whatever the name of that song is, with no hands, the whole do it with no hands song. So when I heard that song, I was like, shit. Yeah, Rasta Dash. When I heard that shit, I was like, okay. You got a little, you getting singles and shit. So I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to start calling these niggas dumb. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit, nigga. It ain't like you thought about that, taking a shit, and then you looked on the TV and somebody else had it, and you're like, nigga, I thought that's dumb shit, nigga. I thought about that shit too. So obviously, you gotta have some type of something about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Intelligence. So then, when him and Gucci wasn't fucking with each other, and he was talking about the EDM or whatever the fuck this shit's called, EDM music.
Yeah,
then that's when I was
electronic dance.
Yeah, that's when I was like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? He ain't no lazy dude. He ain't one. He different. You know what I'm saying? He's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could tell he's different. So basically, in a nutshell, to speed it up, Waka Flocka is an antenna. And that's what a lot of the dumb, deaf, and blind people are. They're antennas. But once they tune in, because they want information, but now it's about what information you get first. He's tuned in into Moors right now. I bet you, give him maybe 5 years, maybe less. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be talking that shit no more. He ain't gonna be talking that no more. Because Waka Flocka doesn't come off to me as a follower. No. But when you seeking information, like, think about the people, I want information. What option you had? Muslims. So now you've seen a lot of niggas becoming Muslim and shit, right? Because they wanted to run away from the Christianity. You see other people run to Rastafari. You see other people run to different cults and different organizations, and that's people. These are the 85ers, and they're looking for information. You see what I'm saying? He's getting the information from the Moors, but he's not going to stick to it because it's not going to make sense. What doesn't make sense? This is what doesn't make sense. One, first and foremost, everyone, I can go anywhere around this planet. We did a whole show on this, Smoke. This was one of our first shows. If you remember the whole black identity thing, I'm gonna post it up on YouTube as a throwback when I catch up to the YouTube. But you can go anywhere in the world and speak to anybody and say, yo, where the rest of the black people at? I'm talking about anybody where there's no black people. Where the rest of the black people at? You see what I'm saying? Like, not going to the Congo saying, where's the rest of the black people at? That doesn't make sense. I'm talking about if you go to Russia and you see a black person there, there's Africans in Russia. You see a black person there, and you're like, yo, where the rest of the black people at? You know what he's going to say? Follow me. He's not going to say, black, what is that? Huh? You lost me. What is black? I can't comprehend what you're speaking of. What? Huh? Black? No, that's not going to happen. If I go anywhere around the world and I say, hey, brother, and I see a black dude, and I say, hey, brother, where's the other Moors at? You see what I'm saying? That's not everybody. Yeah. Hey, brother, where's the other this? That's not everybody. Once you start breaking all these different, if I go to a Christian nation, you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, yo, where's the Muslims at? You know what they're going to say? Let me show you. And then they're going to show you a group of Muslims. Black people is going to show you a group of black Muslims in the corner, in a dominant Christian area. They're not going to. But if I say where the black people at, look, we all here, we all around.
Yeah, it's like Kendrick Lamar. You know what I mean? He on his last album, he been talking about the Hebrew Israelite shit. He say like, I'm an Israelite. Don't call me black no more.
Perfect example.
So he on that. You know what I mean? So
Because let me tell you,
it's just that time.
The
it's that vibe, you know what I mean?
It's the vibe because it's Republican. It's the Republican Party. This is when we get into our black shit. This when we want to read books. This when we now want to see who the white people are. This is when we get into that stage. And then the Democrat come in and quells it and have everybody feeling like, oh, we off that. No, these the good white folks. And then we leave all of our black shit alone, raise our kids hating themselves. And then a Republican come in, and then it's like, yo, brothers, we need to open our eyes. Now we got to open our eyes again. Meaning what? You had it closed. And we always have our shit closed during the Democrat. Right now with Waka Flocka, I can appreciate because he said, I'm new to this shit. So, you know what I'm saying? He don't want to say, yo, I'm black. There's no problem with that. That's just like you growing up all day and all your life you like nigga, and it's like, yo, I was a nigga. Like Cat Williams and Eddie Murphy. Not Eddie Murphy. Cat Williams and Eddie Griffin is like that. They say nigga and they refer to themselves as niggas. You see what I'm saying? Like I can't get down with that. It's weird for me. But like you get what I'm saying? Like they refer to themselves as niggas. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I definitely didn't get like a crazy vibe from it, you know what I'm saying, from the comments he made or whatever. Because, I mean, I understand where he was getting it from, you know what I'm saying, or where, you know what I'm saying, his understanding is. But at the end of the day, it's cool to just see cats touching shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Because Waka Flocka, you think about him, you know what I'm saying, his music, at least in the beginning, you know what I'm saying, it's been more like that hyper fight music, you know what I'm saying? Get wild, you know what I mean? And he might still be that now, but, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, his thinking is on, you know, it's on some other shit. It ain't just on some savagery. And then on the top of that fact, you know, he's speaking on good, health eating, you know what I mean, doing business moves and investments. So, you know what I mean?
Once your eyes open, you can't close them no more. Once your eyes open, you can't close them no more because it's going to sound unnatural coming out of his mouth. If he's sitting over here, bust a nigga in his head, like, come on, how you know what I'm saying? Like, that's just stupid. It's like, nah, you gotta put some shit on it and be like, yo, kill the nigga in your neighborhood raping the woman and the boys and the little girls, you know what I'm saying? Bust that nigga in the head till you see red, you know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? That the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Yeah. But you know, but you're right. At least they're getting the information because guess what? That's how the 90s was with the 5% knowledge. Right? Everybody was with the arm, leg, you know what I'm saying? Back in the 90s, you know what I'm saying?
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So it's peace at the same time, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand he getting the information and the knowledge. I started to be like, man, fuck this nigga. But then I just thought about it. You 36 in. There was a time when I used to walk around when I first heard, because really being, to be honest, being Rasta and being a Hebrew Israelite isn't too far off. You know what I'm saying? We're vegetarians and they eat meat. We have dreads. They don't, you know what I'm saying, shit like that. But really, it's really not. We got 12 tribes for Rasta too. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of they shit, because we all read the same Bible. We all read the same King James Bible and break it down and all the other same silly shit. So you're gonna come with the same conclusions. Then we're all black. So if you see something that one have or one see what the other have, all they're gonna do is take it because it makes sense because you're black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that's how that should be. So the point of saying that is to say this. I remember when I used to be like one of the Rasta elders and stuff was like, and you know why Jesus' real name wasn't Jesus? You know, like in one of the classes and shit. So we like, you know, why? So he was like, because there was no J in the Hebrew language until blah, 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 blah. You know, this is before the internet and all that. This is early 90s. But this is how you had to get the information. You had to be part of the community. Yeah, it wasn't like if you was outside of that shit, you wasn't going to get that information. But if you was, my mother was part of the community, so guess what? Your children come through. So that's the first time I heard that. So when I used to go around and shit, and that's where a lot of this information is just being put back onto the internet for to be documented now. That's what that's being done. When you look at the old Bobby Hemmett's and shit, all of that is from the 90s. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. You be looking at them shits from the 90s because this is what people did back in the day. They'll get the tapes and shit like that. You had to be there. You know what I'm saying? Type shit like that. So it's like that's what we had. So now the internet's here. You post it up just to have it documented. So now people who are outside of that world is getting that information. So that's why I'm saying, yo, this is repeating because y'all niggas got the information when I was 11 and shit, y'all repeating that shit. And then want to challenge me on it. And I'm like, trust me, I know. I got 20 years from knowing that at 11, add 20 plus years to that, and I can tell you, nah, that's not true because I done seen how it doesn't play out like that. All of that separating from the system and living on the earth and making your own food in the dirt and living off the land. No, you don't get, that's called squatting. That's called being homeless, actually. That's going to be against the law. You're going to get arrested. You know what I'm saying? This is a capitalistic society. It's like all that shit don't work. All that shit is a waste of time. Think about all the I think back in my head sometimes, and it hurts my head to think about how many Rastas and Rasta families, when we moved from Brooklyn down to Georgia in that migration in the 90s, early 90s, and to Georgia, and how many of them had these homes but didn't want to own them. And was like, I'm not owning nothing in Babylon, forward to Africa, and all that shit. And we as kids, we like, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
That shit sounds
now
powerful.
We grow, it's all powerful. But then when you get older, I'm 36 years old. Yeah. But now that I'm 36 years old, I'm thinking to myself, like, damn, you know how much property I could own? You know how many businesses y'all could have established hard body and y'all could have structured that Rasta Muslim right there in the Western community, the Rastas and the Muslims, the black Muslims, was in one community, right? That's where H. Rap Brown was at. You see what I'm saying? I was in the store. I brought chips from the brother's store. He had a pool table in there, seen the brother, but I didn't know who he was. I used to just call him the Muslim brother, but he was an imam. You know what I'm saying? Dressed in all white, tall. But I used to just be like the Muslim brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't,
Right.
I'm literally probably 11 years old. Yeah, I'm literally probably like 11 years old, 10, 11 years old. So it's like I seen him. I'm seeing the community. They used to have the music play at a certain time and all that, and it was all respect, right? But with the Rastas though. Because with the Muslims, they own shit. With the Rastas, though, everything was, they didn't want to own nothing in Babylon. They didn't want to work for Babylon and all kind of shit on some squatter shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, it was cool being a kid because you don't understand money, finances, economy, wealth. You don't understand that shit. Ownership. You don't understand that shit.
Right.
So you just rocking with what you hearing. We ain't never go to no fucking Africa. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we here in America. So it's like, wait a minute. So what the fuck did we do for them years? Those are wasted years.
Yeah, because if you think about the time now in New York, you know what I'm saying? It's like people with the values on these houses is crazy. And like I was my pops, we was up there, what was that, August, a little quick weekend to pick my son up. And my pops was, some of his peoples and shit from up there, he talking about him and shit. He, talking about a crib that he bought, in the 90s. Or maybe might have been, older. I don't know. I can't say when he bought it. But he still got the house now. And that shit went for Millie in Brooklyn. And he and they was all just talking how you know, like more so speaking on the demeanor of homeboy, of the dude. Like, yeah, he chilling. He just waiting it out. You know what I'm saying? He's saying how people was giving him offers and shit like that, and he like, I'm good. I'm waiting it out. Of that area, I know what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? So he's sitting in the driver's seat right now, where it's like, you know, if he want to take that money and take the proceeds and go somewhere, or just sit on it, let it accumulate, or turn it into a business opportunity if he wants to, it's his. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, like my parents could have bought a house back in the 70s or 80s or whatever it was, but they didn't do that. So that could have been a time now that, you know, my parents, they moving south, or they already have, but they could have flipped their house and owned the house that they got now plus money. You know what I'm saying? So those are opportunities that, you know what I mean, our people didn't take advantage of. So when you are in the current now, you know what I'm saying, especially like, you know, if you're a parent, shit like that, you know what I mean, you want to leave your kids something, because it'll make it that much easier to think like, if my parents left me a house, or if they still had that house, I gave the example of them, but let's say hypothetically they wasn't here no more, and they left that to me, then that's, I could live in that house, I could sell that house, you know what I mean? It's just having options. Yeah. Our youth don't have options, and so we got to create the options for them. So we can't necessarily goof around our whole lives, especially when you got kids, because, you know, it's just going to make it that much harder for them. Like, it's repeating the process that we went through.
Over. They got to keep starting over. Everybody got to keep starting over from zero and shit. But you know what I thought about with the whole Waka black shit too? It's just, it's I'm using an example of states. It's like you living in you born in New York, right? I'm born in New York. But our parents was born in the South, with the exception of my father was born in Trinidad. And their parents was born in the South, right? And then somebody telling you, yo, don't you know you really a Southerner? Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's the angle I look at it. Maybe they look at it like that. You see what I'm saying? Because I heard another example. Wait, let me explain that again, in case somebody's confused. Maybe with the whole thing, the whole understanding with the Moors and stuff like that when it comes to the black identity thing is, they always like to point to your skin tone and say, you ain't black, this is black. Look at your skin brown. Because they don't got no problem saying brown, ironically. But I wonder if they look at it as they're no longer black or some shit like that. Like, me, I wouldn't say I'm a Southerner. I don't say I'm West Indian. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm born here in America, and I'm from Brooklyn, and that's what I say. I'm a black American. But I'm not going to say anything other than that, where maybe somebody might want to try to force you to be that. I don't know. See, like I said, I'm even confusing myself. I don't understand that weird shit. Black.
I don't see the thing is, like, I don't think we need to even get into that when we even talking, because it's like, not per this necessarily this conversation, but like in the sense of like when we having black relations, you know what I'm saying? Black people trying to come together, different groups of people, whether, because a lot of us have religious groups, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get with a group. It's gonna, a lot of times it's gonna be a religious group. All right, cool. Those don't need to be the focus point of any conversations we have. I should just No, this is what the crazy part is.
The crazy part about it is the Moors is the only one with that issue. Because you can talk to anybody else, religious groups and all that shit, that's black, and say, yo, all black people, let's come together and work. And the religious people to put the religious, I mean, it's not really nothing to put aside, but it's like they'll work off of black. But unless the Sinetta shit is just some Sinetta shit, but if you're looking at the Sinetta shit, it's like anytime Sinetta them be like, and we need to come together as a people, right? And everybody like, yeah. And then we should like, black power. The more it's like, oh, shit, I don't know about that black power shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and everybody else could agree. Hebrews and everybody else.
Yeah, I feel what you're saying. Well, if it's just them, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's like, shit, it's bigger than what this, some legal status, a fucking God, or any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we have
the
to
legal status is bullshit. The legal status is bullshit because before they said, I would hear more say that you can't even go to the UN and make a case, some shit like that. And Mike Brown, them family went there and made a case, and they have a whole commission where they was, you know what I'm saying, shit in with the whole United States where they wrote up about the mistreatments and how there haven't been any advancements of black people since the fucking civil rights movement.
Malcolm X was going to do that too, though.
Huh?
I said Malcolm X was going to do that shit back in the day, you know, before.
No, we ain't talking about what's going to. We're talking about the ones that did.
Yeah.
We're talking about the ones that did. Because, see, I get sick of people keep talking about black is an issue, black is weak, black Americans ain't got culture, and all this stupid-ass shit. It gets on my nerves because the motherfuckers doing this shit is the people that you saying can't do it. It's the black American. 9.9 out of 10 is who you would call a lost black person. You would see out here pushing and doing everything that the black people that so-called woke and got information is saying that you can't do.
Yeah,
that's not
we be out conscious in ourselves, you know what I'm saying? It's like that's why it's
I call
like
it lying. I call it lying. Because let's just call it what the fuck it is. Because consciousness is being aware. I'm never gonna disrespect consciousness because I grew up under consciousness. You see what I'm saying? This is what I grew up under. Conscious brother, conscious sister as a Rasta. So I'm not gonna get caught up in that so-called conscious. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. To me, that's disrespectful. If you so-called, then get the fuck about the information. But the people out there that's they lie.
It's not even about being so-called. You know what I'm saying? You could have you could have someone who wholeheartedly is with the shit. They read it. They got information and shit. But it's like to a certain point, it's like when you get so much information, it starts hindering you. It's like, well, damn, the white man got the control. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And then you become stagnant and shit. So, yeah, you got people that's out there tricking and running games and scams.
To me, those are followers. Because
so, yeah, you could say that then.
Yeah, because that means you just sitting there getting information to do what? Just to sit there and just watch a whole bunch of shit. Now you got an information overload? That means you were just sitting on your ass and doing shit.
we got a lot of followers because I see because it goes into the point of you saying that you see like the people that would just normally be considered 85 are the ones who making business moves that's doing this.
Right.
Mike Brown and the parents, they Christian, they went to the UN in the case of his shooting. You know what I mean? So it's like you don't hear the shit like that amongst the so-called conscious, you know what I mean, to that degree. So a lot of times I be feeling it's like some of us be letting that conscious, so-called conscious, and I don't want to say so-called conscious, but you know what I mean, it's just like sometimes it'll hinder you. It's just like you hear somebody who got the information, but they'll say like, the white man, they're going to do this to destroy anything we build. And it's like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but it's almost like you saying, then we can't do nothing. We can't win. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like sometimes I feel like we just in love with the information so much.
Saying. No, what happened? All that happened is this is all the old '90s information, and what always happened is all black people who eyes is closed, they end up seeing what America really is about. Anytime a Republican is in office, then they start running towards the black people that they kept passing on by the streets when the Democrats in office, who was telling you the white man's the devil and open your eyes, sister, and they playing the tricks on you, don't fall for his ways and all that shit. They was walking past. And then once they start to see the shit happen when the Republicans come, that's when they run to them. So once they run to them, these dudes, it is what it is. They charge niggas to talk. That's it. They charge niggas to listen to fear mongering and stuff like that, and just regurgitated information and stuff that you didn't know, so it sounds fresh and new. You know what I'm saying? That's it. You know what I'm saying? And this is the stuff that you realize, you know what I'm saying, at the end of the day. Because I remember one of my biggest issues used to be, because just like when people get frustrated with the conscious community now, I laugh because I remember when I used to get frustrated, but like I said, I was a kid. That's the whole thing. That's why I be like, when people say you got baby information, it's literal. It's literal. Even though you might be 30-something, 40-something years old, 50-something years old, you still young with the information. I be laughing when I hear people say, man, I was in the conscious community for 7 years, man, then I had to leave. And I'm like, I mean, you were 7 years old. That's all that means. You know what I'm saying? You still, you ain't even understanding what the hell, who you is yet. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what happened with the information is these dudes, they sell you basically ideology, theories of other people, of who we are and what it is. It's a niche now, because this is a capitalistic society. So everything is for sale. Black people have no identity. That's for sale. Just that notion that black people don't have an identity. People sell that idea to black people. That idea has to be sold to black people, that black people, black Americans in this country don't have an identity, don't have a culture, don't have this, don't have that. They need that. So then I can come in and sell to you Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, this and that and that and this. You see what I'm saying? So now that you get all of these different ideologies and no, you're a Moor and no, you're a this and all these different things like that, then you fall under certain government statutes where you can now make bread off the shit. That's it. America protects religious liberties. If you want an organization, a black organization, where you can uplift your people and all kind of shit like that, it will be smart to start some type of church-like situation and have people in. But what happened is you get caught up in that shit. These niggas that figure that shit out, they something wrong with them themselves. Maybe the power gets to them, I don't know. And then they just start flipping. I don't know. But it's all a hustle, basically is what I'm saying. You don't have to know, quote unquote, who you are to gather information. You know what I'm saying? Who you are is who you are right now. Knowing who somebody was 100 years ago, that's just information to combat any of the information that the white society is giving you to make you feel less than yourself. So when you're seeing, as a black woman, black images of black woman in her supreme state of being, that's not for you to look at yourself and be like, damn, look at my fat ass. I could never be like that. No, that's for you to say to yourself, oh, okay, that's positive black imagery. So when I'm looking on TV, and I'm seeing these girls fighting and shit, I say to myself like, wow, that's negative, yo. I want my daughters to watch images like this. That way you have another option. Black man, another option. And then maybe with them options, it will disgust you to the point where you're saying, you know what, cut that off. My children's coming downstairs. I'm going to watch the ratchet shit because I grew up on it. But you know what, my boys are coming out. Let me cut that shit off. Y'all come over here. Let's look at some black images. So my sons them could watch some, or my daughters them could watch some. You'll get into that. And then you're growing up a generation with these images naturally in their head. And think about this, Smoke. When these images is naturally in your head as a child, and you growing up, you don't need somebody to say, yo, brother, don't you know you was a cop? Don't you know about the riches of Africa? And you be like, yeah, I know that already. So you don't want to buy my book about it? Nope. I already know about that. My father collects all these books. I have a ton of these books already. Well, brother, what's your nationality, brother? I'm an original black man. I'm from the planet Earth. Nah, brother, you ain't gonna have your status if you don't. Nah, I'm not. You can't sell me none of that. I'm good. I don't need that. Straight up, and that's just how it works. But when you have children growing up and they're brainwashed and they're watching a bunch of white imagery and they're hating themselves and they're like, I wish my skin was white. I wish I was light skinned. Then these brothers come in and be like, sister, don't you know your beautiful melanin skin radiates the sun and then the vitamin D that comes down and then, oh, really? No, let me go. Oh, he was right. That brother wise. That's how this is literally how the whole fucking game works. That's how the game works. You see what I'm saying? You realize that if you're born into it as a kid, because you can pick up on the game early. But see, when you're in your 20s and find out, you're not going to pick up until your 30s, 40s. You see what I'm saying? If you 30 when you find out, you're not going to really understand it until you're in your 60s. You see what I'm saying? Because you have to see stuff repeat itself. You have to test and see. Okay, if y'all telling me that there's really spaceships and shit out there, let me go see. If you telling me that there's really fucking gold in Africa and the soil is so rich, let me go see. You're gonna figure out what's real and what's fake. You're gonna figure out, oh shit, the water really is clear as a motherfucker out here in Bermuda. I'm used to Coney Island water. You know what I'm saying? But you traveled out and you checked and you looked. Now you see, and once you see, it'll change your mind. And once it changes your mind, then you'll be able to decipher other types of information easier. You'll be able to sit there and be like, oh, I already see the play with that. Because everybody uses the same play. But that takes time. And a lot of times we start to think, once we knew into the information, we start to think, well, now let me start to, well, my mama, she don't know. Mama, don't you know that Jesus, J, ain't even in the Hebrew language? That's how you know Jesus ain't really. And it's like, yeah, okay. You're getting hyped, but guess what? If somebody asks you questions you don't know, that's your time to learn, not to brag, because you got a little bit more information than the next man. You see what I'm saying? But the whole shit's a hustle. It's all a hustle. Because you is who you are right now. Everything that was created then. So if it was created then, you could create it now. Whatever powers they had, you got now. That's why I keep saying there's no leadership. Get off that leadership shit. There's no savior. Everything is here. Everything is flat level. Everything's flat level. When you say to yourself, I'm going to do that, that's when it get done. That's it. You can't sit there and keep looking at people saying to yourself, if I had his image, if I had his this, that's no different than looking on TV saying, oh, if I was muscular as this dude, if my hair was like this, I'll be able to get the girls. You'll sound silly saying that. But we'll say that about so-called leaders. There is no leaders. These are just men and women that decided to do something. Guess who else decided to do something? Hustlers and scammers and everybody else. That's it. People ask the question, well, how do we get out of this situation? Oh, we all got to unify, brother. Nope. We need the economy. Oh, you talking about the economy. Well, how are we going to create an economy then? Really? How are we going to create economy? Teach your kids, your children. I don't look towards the adults. And I don't think nothing's going to happen in the next 5 years. This is literally going to take a good 100 years. You see what I'm saying? Literally. Now watch this.
Yeah, it is.
Because we got 47.
Yeah, happened overnight.
Right, we got 47. So let's get into this black identity extremists too, because I want to slide into that, because I don't want to get off. So, because it all ties in. First of all, I want to tell black people this. The whole black identity extremist shit, all that shit is to scare you. All that shit is to scare you back to sleep. Because they've always targeted black people. You know what I'm saying? They've never not stopped targeting us. COINTELPRO never stopped. They've always targeted us. I remember when I had told Spoken Girl, who be on Blog Talk Radio, she got a show on Blog Talk Radio. But I was talking to Spoken Girl, she was like, yeah, I want to do my show, but I want my show to be pro-black, speaking to the sisters, and woo-woo. I said, nah, just keep it general, yo. Don't dip into the black talk. She was like, but why? You know what I'm saying? I want to talk. I said, trust me, that black shit, it ain't no joke. I said, it's serious business, yo. When you really talking to the people, and you really opening their eyes and stuff like that, it's serious, not no game, yo. Keep it general, trust me. So then when I see everybody all hype on Facebook, oh, the feds, they don't want to put the KKK as a terrorist group, but they're going to say black identity extremists. Oh, what is that? And now they want to target us. And guess what? All of the hustlers is pumping it too, pumping up the fear. Oh, y'all coming. This is what. They've always targeted us. They never stopped targeting us. Guess what? Police ain't never stopped killing black men. Guess what? Unarmed, armed, it don't matter. None of this shit. Like, yo, Smoke, it bugs me the fuck out. What is your opinion, Smoke? This is what I'm about to do. I'm about to turn to a page on where do we go from here, chaos or community. Say something, Smoke, while I get this page so I can explain to the people this shit is nothing changed. And before I let you go on, Smoke, this is for the black people that says they're militarizing the police. They militarizing the police. How about you Google when was the first time they started militarizing the police? Now, if you Google that, I don't know what they're going to say because I never did it. But I saw a PBS documentary on the civil rights movement, and they said in that documentary the civil rights movement was the first time they started to militarize the police force. But during the civil rights movement. That was the first time, according to that documentary, PBS documentary, that they was going to militarize the police force, the civil rights movement. So when I'm hearing black people in 2000 talk about the militarization of the, what the fuck you think they was doing in California with the Batarangs during the crack era? Like, what do you thought in New York with the Batarangs? How do you think they bust down the doors in Afghanistan and stuff like that? Man, yo, we don't get it, yo. We don't get it. We think old shit is new. That's why they hustle you in the black community. And it ain't right, but what I'm gonna say is, and not to sound savage, it ain't right, but the reason why they do it, because it's tempting. I'll elaborate on that later, but
I mean, I would say that, to me, I would just give people tips. You know what I'm saying? Because if you say, okay, you know, the feds are going after, you know, black extremists or whatever. And, you know, the first thing you think of is like, you know, the radical Black Panther types, you know, people out there, you know, talking about guns and things like that. And to me, it's like, it's other things that they will target in on to fuck with people. Like, for example, I see, like, how, you know, cats, they might be talking black, you know, posting black talk. Nothing crazy, though. You know, nothing about killings or anything like that. But then they'll post their cache of guns. Like, what the fuck is you doing?
Cool.
Just random people, you know what I mean? You know, it's just like things like that. Yeah, like a person, like, yeah, I'm get, you know, like, stay ready, you know, black people learn how to shoot, and they showing 20 guns or 10, whatever amount of guns it is. Or they got their kids posing with guns in the thing. You know, learn to women, protect yourself.
Yeah.
Like, these are images that they have in fucking social media that they can access. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what
was crazy. This was crazy. The white people get in trouble for doing that. White people get in trouble for doing that. They had a white girl out here in Georgia. She out there posting, shooting and shit. And I think she did something with a pipe bomb or some shit. Man, the feds came down there and shit, sent her ass to court, put on probation. How I know she was on probation, right? This is how I know she was on probation, Smoke. Because the white broad got arrested for some traffic violation, and then they found meth on her. So once she got that second arrest, that's when, you know how the news is. It was like, you know, and previously she was arrested for the pipe bomb where they gave her probation. And I said, probation? How the fuck you get for making a bomb?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
These be people that's not doing anything wrong. They just showing they black pride, but they're showing
No. This is the point that I'm making. No, the point that I'm making is, people get locked up for that. So you do anything tap dancing around, anything like that, you know they come to your ass.
I got you.
You dig what I'm saying? There people get in trouble for that shit, like with the white boys.
I got you.
With the mannequin challenge, right? The white boys out there with their guns, right? A lot of guns, right? They ain't get in trouble for that. So here go black people. They got their doors kicked in, right? Leave that shit alone. Leave that shit alone. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't even know why they're doing that. They might be doing that just to pull you out the rat hole. You know how we can get some? Let's do something to get black people to follow us. Let's put a whole mountain of fucking cocaine right here on the fucking table and do the cocaine challenge. And he gonna be a dumb nigga. Let me cut this brick, my nigga. Cocaine challenge. Now you lied up. See all your work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Stop documenting a lot of information and shit that's serious have to be passed. You know what I'm saying? Face to face. It don't have to be on social media. You know what I'm saying?
No, let me tell you how real it is. Let me tell you how real that was. That's how they got black people into the projects. First was white people in the government project. And then they started to have the white woman move in. I mean, not the white woman, the black woman move in. You know what I'm saying? So she's in there now in the beginning with a, this was a mixed family unit. Right? And then they start slowly at night disappearing and shit. So you in the process. Trap your ass. So don't think they won't do it on social media too, black people. You know what I mean? But
they already are.
Black identity. Yeah, but here the shit goes. The FBI Domestic Terror Analyst Unit, which dubbed the group BIE, said perceptions of police brutality against African Americans spurred an increase in premeditated retaliatory lethal violence against law enforcement, according to August 3rd report obtained by Foreign Policy. Really it started like this. They said while the white supremacists were planning to rally in Charlottesville, the FBI counterterrorism unit identified the black identity extremists as a growing threat. So while the white supremacists were planning and got the license to legally march in Charlottesville, the feds, remember them guys? The guys who always fucks with the black community? They was building up the case on the black uprise, which they always do this, right? And the reason why I say it like that, Smoke, is because remember when I said while Richard Spencer was making the what's the name of that group, the alt-right?
Yeah.
Janae Aiko, Chris Brown, and so whoever else was making songs about eating booty like grocery. You see? So while we making songs about eating booty like grocery, white people out here is creating the alt-right. And when I say that, black people, I'm talking about literally, they both came out the same year. They both, when the alt-right was starting, is the same year the eating booty like grocery came out. For all the people that want to say you're looking for distractions, that was a distraction right there. Instead of y'all seeing what Whitey up to, they said, damn, Whitey a little quiet out there. No, y'all said, you know what? Let's make a song about eating ass. Not freedom, not economy, not strengthening your community, none of that. We're going to make a song about eating ass while white people are trying to regain their fucking country. So the FBI now, they're creating their counterterrorism unit against a quote-unquote black identity extremist, which is just 2017 version of back to the attack on the black people. You know what I'm saying? To open up and wake the black people up to this truth. That's when the white supremacist is out here getting ready to do the Charlottesville shit. Why is black people in the Charlottesville shit to begin with? Remember, that was the whole argument to begin with. Let them white people fight against each other. No, we participate in this shit that have nothing to do with us, but now black identity extremists is a growing threat. Okay, no sweat, because like I said, it's always been like that. Citing Michael Brown's 2014 death in Ferguson as the catalyst. You know why they cite Michael Brown? Because they don't count Trayvon, because we didn't do nothing for Trayvon. Well, people don't understand Trayvon, and I told my girl that, because she was like, look, we didn't even do nothing for Trayvon. I said, don't worry. I said, that's the simmer right there. I said, because remember, I lived through the Rodney King joint. So when I'm telling you shit repeats itself, this shit repeats itself. You see what I'm saying? I'm not bugging out. So I said, black people, we don't riot like that. Black people don't riot just because somebody got killed. Because if we rioted because somebody got killed, we'd be rioting every day. We riot when we get sick of it. We riot when we full. We riot once we have it up to a certain level. That's when the pot explodes. Then you see us. You see what I'm saying? So they know that. So what they doing with this whole black identity extremism, this ain't shit. This is literally to scare black people back to sleep. That's it. And the black people that's going to hustle you for the information, they're going to really drive it to you because they need the fear. They need you to be afraid so you can run to them for the answer. That's how that game works. And then the white man, he needs you to go to sleep. So it's like you got a rat. You know what I'm saying? You got people trying to catch the rat, and it's like, do I run here? Do I run here? That's it. You got to either go to sleep or get hustled by this person who's just going to keep you in fear mode while he pimps your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Because you need the information. What else, brother? And don't use your phones. They can zap you. But listen, if you pay me this, there's a sheet of paper, it's a carbon paper you can put here, and then to keep all of the goddamn man weaponry, and then you'll buy the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, you're afraid. The narrative is that strong. So that's what's going on, because, like I said, that black identity shit, that shit, it sounds stupid. But they know that we don't operate off of common sense. We operate off emotion. So we feel what black identity extremism means. We feel what it means. We're not looking at it and like, yo, can you explain to me what that is? How about that? No, we'll take it and run and cry and say, this is what it means. And they're like, oh, okay, yep, there you go. They just gave a name. You can't even explain to me, what do that mean? Well, what is the black identity? I have them explain every fucking word.
Yeah, and that's why they can take any little simple actions and flip it and bounce it. So you got to be careful about the little silly shit you're doing, because the major place that people's getting caught up on the crime shit is social media. I just saw a case where they had two people, a girl and a guy. I don't know what they were, Mexican or something, but they was in Texas. They shooting out the window, driving and shooting out the window. Social media, bomb, got him. Dude had a warrant, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Y'all going off the river. So it's like, and you would think that, like, okay, we know that. That's common sense. But just like I was saying before, people love putting their guns up. People love telling they tactics.
That's the real world.
Like,
that's the world. Social media is the world now. The white man created a whole new world. The niggas are living. It's called the fucking World Wide Web. That's the world. That's why, and that's what people don't get. That's why nobody understood back in the day why niggas posting guns, or why niggas doing crimes, or why niggas showing off. We didn't get it because we not from that world. These kids is growing up in two worlds, the real world and the World Wide Web. That's why motherfuckers killing it, cyberbully. And what our old asses are saying, cut the fucking computer off.
Exactly.
What you mean,
what you mean? That shit ain't real.
Delete the app, nigga. Now you're not supposed to fucking look for this shit. What the fuck wrong with
the fucking computer auto answering you.
But for a kid, that's their life.
Yeah.
They probably be like, oh,
yeah.
God, I can't play my 12 friends. And you're like, well,
you see the cases of that shit. Kids wanting to kill themselves or actually doing that. You know what I mean? So you understand that it's definitely an issue.
Yeah, damn sure. I'm going to go too far off. So they go citing Michael Brown's 2014 death in Ferguson as the catalyst. The FBI listed specific case. The FBI listed specific cases, saying it was likely the BIE suspects acted in retaliation for perceived past police brutality incidences. And you see how they keep saying perceived, right? Everything is perceived. Now you gotta watch the words the white man used. Among them was Micah Johnson, a former Army reserve who was shot dead 5. My bad. Among them was Micah Johnson, a former Army reservist who shot dead 5 Dallas police officers during a peaceful protest against police violence last year. There have been 98 law enforcement fatalities this year so far, and compared to 102 during the same period last year, according to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. And in the you know what the foul part about that? Smoke, this whole law enforcement fatalities, because I hate listening to law enforcement fatalities. These motherfuckers will talk about 98 and 102 and shit, and you could go to one city in the police force and kill 102 people that year, or that month, I should say, excuse me, and you might hear, you know what I'm saying? You be hearing these little numbers and shit. I be like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. That's light.
Y'all be represented in the media.
And then,
they
like I said,
in the media.
they majority of the motherfuckers killing the police not even black. So for them to say, you know what I'm saying? Even when the good brother, Micah Johnson had off those cops in Dallas, shit, count how many goddamn times this. Look, let's get into the foo-foo-la, right, Smoke? Let's count how many times the spirit of Larry Davis, Ashe, entered these brothers and invicted vengeance on the African race here in America that's being oppressed. You know what I'm saying? Not enough for you to say black identity extremists compared to how many white dudes is out here offering these cops. So it's
cops,
like, no.
Offering people, injuring 500 people. Yeah. That is all done.
That's what I'm saying. The whole shit is just to scare black people back to sleep. Because once you hear the Fed said they're gonna start to target black identity extremists, then you start hearing black, now they want to attack us because we want to know who we are. And guess what Trump's doing? He opened up that church. He giving a lot of power back to that church. So when that fear comes down and you start seeing a couple of niggas' head get cracked, watch. You're going to start seeing a big influx of black people. Jesus! Lord, Jesus! I should have let you go. That's what you're going to hear. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Always getting cracked out here in these streets like that. So, yeah, it's just another shit to be aware of, man. I mean, as a black person, you should always be aware of yourself. It's not no joke out here. So it's like any interactions you having, anything you posting, anything you telling somebody that's outside your circle, you need to be careful. You need to be paying attention.
Hold on. I gotta say something. Wait, I gotta say something.
Ain't no joke out here.
I gotta say something. I said something as a hypothesis when all I should have did was just kept reading. So watch this. Watch this one. Goddamn shame. There has been 98 law enforcement fatalities this year so far, compared to 102 during the same period last year, according to the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund. That's where y'all need to sue. That's what y'all need to sue. Y'all need to sue the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund and take the money out of that budget every time they murder one of y'all kids. And let's see how much fuck things people up. Then it goes, among the fatalities in 2017, 36 were firearm related, down from 44 this time last year, while the vast majority were attributed to traffic accidents, fires, illness, and other causes. So they tie in.
They putting everything out there.
Right. So that 98 and this 100.
The motherfucker fell off his roof on while he was on vacation. Yeah. Fixing some shit. And that's a police officer that. Fuck out of here.
Cool. So when you hear them talk about this is a hard job, just last year, 98 good law enforcement women. No, these niggas slipped and fucking.
But what is it saying within that? Because they're saying that, okay, the articles about black extremists. And the numbers that they just gave was...
Right. I got to get the last one. In comparison... But look, in comparison, 748 people have been shot and killed by police in 2017, according to the database maintained by the Washington Post. So they want to show you some funky-ass number, 98 fatalities. Oh, these are the cops that was died last year. To find out, out of the 98, 36 were firearm related. Just 36 out of 98. The rest of them shits was, they said the vast majority was traffic accidents. Meaning these cops dying from traffic accidents.
Don't the numbers trend down from them 2 years? So it was 102 to 98, right? It was 102 the previous year, then 98, right?
And
so
those
numbers are trending downward, right?
Look,
so
the cops is dropping better.
So they justifying busting niggas' ass out here to decrease the deaths of them. That's really what I'm hearing them trying to say. You know what I'm saying? The numbers is going down as we kick their ass, and that's basically what they doing. They want to just show. They want to just on the low and force show that they justifying why they out here kicking our ass. Why this is okay? Why it's okay for them to go target?
This is what it goes. Let me finish up the story. It goes, the term black identity extremist appears to be a new term, and some contest the phrase for suggesting a cohesive, overarching ideology. One former Homeland Security officer, let me read that again. The term black identity extremist appears to be a new term. That shit is a new term, meaning they made this shit up. But I'm telling y'all, they just renamed the same shit. That's it. They just renamed what they've always been doing. They never stopped this. One former Homeland Security officer told Foreign Policy they are grouping together Black Panthers, Black Nationalists, and Wichita Nation. You know who Wichita Nation is? Moors. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
I never heard of Wichita Nation. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I wonder if I'm right or if I'm wrong, because I could have sworn I heard one of the Moors say they from the Wichita or some shit like that.
Well, bro.
So in Wichita Nation, I'm gonna read that again.
And encompassing all of them, basically.
Yeah, but I just want to make sure I be clear so everybody can hear. One former Homeland Security official told Foreign Policy they are grouping together Black Panthers, Black Nationalists, and Wichita Nation. Imagine lumping together white nationalists, white supremacists, militias, neo-Nazis, and calling it white identity extremists, the official said. The race card is being played here deliberately. Malcolm Nance, a counterterrorism expert who served in the U.S. Navy, wrote on Twitter, I train law enforcement intelligence and counterterrorism all over the nation. And black identity extremist doesn't exist. It's a made-up term. Now, look, Smoke, I didn't even read this shit. But didn't I just say that shit earlier? I would ask them, what the fuck do that mean? Explain to me what did that mean. But no, they know we are emotional people. And we will feel some shit and turn it into some shit. We're not going to question nothing that the white people say to us. We're just going to internalize it once they say it. We're going to internalize it, and we're going to give it definition, and we're going to give it life. Black Lives Matter activist D. Ray McKesson pointed to the FBI's long history of surveilling black activists, highlighting his own personal experience with the FBI visiting his home, and told FP, this is not surprising. The FBI, which issued a report in May warning white supremacist violence was growing, I remember that, identified BIE as a threat just 9 days before far-right groups descended on Charlottesville. President Trump was heavily criticized for his response after 3 people died. Okay, so that's what that was. Yeah, so this is from the Daily News. This is from the Daily News. Yeah, so that's why I say it's the same shit, it's the same game. Ain't nothing changed, you know what I'm saying? Even though the little party boy even said that. It's a long history. See, when you don't know, Smoke, I told you, the TED Talk said what? Every 20 years, we can play this game because every 20 years, we forget. Every 20 years, we forget. That's what they do to us. They play games with us. And the reason they can play games with us is because we don't question nothing. You don't question nothing because your mother put you in an institution that taught you not to question nothing. You see what I'm saying? Put you in an institution that taught you not to question nothing. So you grown up in a house now where your mother told you not to question nothing. You teaching your children them not to question nothing. So then when you hearing things being said and shoved at you, pause, then you're not going to question it. You're just going to take it and internalize it. That's why people can say stupid shit and black people just eat that shit up. And it gets me so fucking mad. I'd be like, y'all didn't even get time to even hear what was said before motherfuckers just jump on that shit. But even in the article, I didn't even read the article. I just Googled because I figured, shit, if we're going to be talking about black identity extremists, let me get a story on it at least. And in the story, that's the former counterintelligence woman said, that shit don't exist. That's just a made-up fucking term. It's a made-up word, and that's what white people do. They'll make up a word, right? Homophobia, right? Homo means same. Phobia means fear of. Fear of same, fear of the same, that doesn't make sense. But they'll tell you, no, homophobia means you're anti-gay, and you don't. And they'll have this whole shit about gay people, but homo don't mean gay. Homo means same. Homo sapien, Homo erectus. You see what I'm saying? Homo means same. Homogeneous. Right. Homo don't mean gay. You see what I'm saying? So, but this is how it works. They'll tell you something, then the definition comes. Now it's real. Nobody question nothing. We just accept everything and react to everything. You know what I'm saying? But watch this. While we got 15 minutes back on the show, I want to play the Steve Bannon joint, right? Now, I want black people to hear. This is what white people is up to. While we bullshitting, let me let you know what white people is up to.
To anyone who has been around, is to a degree alarming, but again, I don't want you to harm. He's got people around him that have been able to keep him, generally speaking, in the middle of the road this week. While Corker is set to retire at the end of his term, but former White House Chief of Staff, Chief Strategist Steve Bannon is now launching a new effort to target other anti-Trump Republicans with plans to back primary opponents to nearly every Republican up for re-election. Think Alabama, Roy Moore. He joins us now. He's the executive chairman of Breitbart News. How are you?
Wait, I got to play a little bit of this from back. But let me just set it up. What Hannity said, this is, excuse me, let me read the title so y'all know. This is on YouTube. It's Steve Bannon, Senator Corker, Corker, is an absolute disgrace. This is on, you can Google that on YouTube. That's what I'm playing from. And I'm starting at the 1 minute and 8 mark. What's happening is Hannity going to say that what the plan is, every Republican, this is how Trump is going to win in 2020. Every Republican that's not down with the fucking program, when it's time for re-election and their seats up, they're going to get primaried. And they're going to vote out that Republican who isn't down with the program, and they're going to put in a Republican that is down with the program. Now, listen to how the game goes. This is what we should be doing for them damn Democrats. But no, we over here resist. Well, listen to what the other side is doing while we resist.
Republican Bob Corker
for slamming President Trump to the New York Times. Wasn't that nice of him? Meanwhile, Corker is set to retire at the end of his term, but former White House Chief of Staff, Chief Strategist Steve Bannon is now launching a new effort to target other anti-Trump Republicans with plans to back primary opponents to nearly every Republican up for re-election. Think Alabama, Roy Moore. He joins us now. He's the executive chairman of Breitbart News. How are you? You know, how you doing? You lost weight since you left the White House. You look good. Oh, good for you. Feel great. He's so arrogant. He's such an elitist snob. He's the swamp. The Senate hasn't done a thing, Steve. Nothing. The American people see right here. This is what they think about President Trump behind closed doors. He happened to tell the New York Times exactly what I thought. It's totally unacceptable. In a time of war, we have troops in Afghanistan, in the Northwest Pacific and Korea. We have a major problem that could be like World War I. In the South China Sea, in the Persian Gulf, we have American lives at risk every day. He tweets on Sunday that it's like the adult center and somebody didn't have the morning shift, and then he has the audacity to go to the New York Times and to give this. He didn't know that was going to air. He didn't know they were going to release that. I think, by the way, I'm not sure that he knew it was going to be a tape, but he gave those guys an on-the-record interview. You saw that in the New York Times. And by the way, Phil Rucker, yesterday in the Washington Post, the big lead was, he said there's only 2 or 3 senators on Capitol Hill that have President Trump's back. When you want to talk about why there's no repeal and no replace, why there's no tax cut, why there's no tax reform, why there's no infrastructure bill, you saw it right there. Corker, McConnell, and Corker, and the entire clique, establishment, globalist clique on Capitol Hill, have to go. Now, if we need any more proof about what they think, you heard it tonight, it's an absolute disgrace. I've been told by people in the room, Ben Sass, John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Corker, and even McConnell, they trash the president, but yet they can't get any of their promises completed. They are the swamp. Republicans are weak and pathetic, and they're lacking in identity, and the forgotten men and women that voted this election are being let down. Look, they have total contempt for the forgotten man. They have total contempt for the base. That's what you saw in Alabama. In Alabama, when they came in with Luther Strange with $32 million to destroy Judge Moore, you saw what the base thought of that, right? The base totally rejected it. These people have no respect for the working men and women in the United States. And I tell you what, Senator Corker is an absolute disgrace. And I agree with Jason Miller, who's the comms director on our campaign. I think one of the best comms people around. Jason's on CNN, but he never talks out of school. Sorry to hear that. On CNN today, he called for Senator Corker to resign. I agree with him. The governor of Tennessee to replace him with Marsha Blackburn, a real conservative. If Bob Corker has any honor, any decency, he should resign immediately. He should not let those words stand away. Said about the president. He wouldn't win, Steve. That's why he's really getting out. He got out because he saw what happened in Alabama. If he wants to, by the way, he should get back in because he's going to get crushed. Marsha Blackburn would kill him. He's going to get crushed in a primary. He doesn't have the guts to get in. So if he doesn't have the guts to get back in the race, he should resign. Here's a question. How does the president's agenda, if he's got hostile Republicans that are apparently willing to go on a suicide mission, if they don't get anything accomplished, they don't get the budget done, can't repeal and replace, they don't even want to fund the border wall. If they don't do those things, they're going to suffer in 2018. President Trump's not up till 2020. They have to understand there's a basic agenda that President Trump ran on and won. He carried states that Republicans haven't carried in living memory. Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. This agenda works. The American people voted for it. It's their responsibility. By the way, McConnell would not be majority leader unless Trump in North Carolina, in Missouri, in Wisconsin was able to carry those senators across the finish line. It is incumbent upon them to back President Trump's plan, but you don't see it. What you saw what Corker said today is what they talk about in Capitol. That's why I left the White House. Remember, I said, I'm going after the Republican establishment, and we're going to go after them. We're going to challenge. There's a coalition of states. There's a coalition coming together that's going to challenge every Republican incumbent except for Ted Cruz, whether it's Utah, Wyoming, whether it's in Orrin Hatch in Utah. Today,
you just put a pause right there. So you hear what's going on, right, Smoke? That Trump and Bannon is talking to the people. Trump is up there doing what he's doing. So when you look at the news, black people, right? He just shooting them. When you're looking at the news and shit, because it still got some more time on this, right? Because it should have like a good 4 more minutes. So when you listen to him talk, and when you're looking at the news, and the news is saying, oh my God, how is Trump going to win if he's pissing off all the Republicans? And look at his approval rating, and look how low it is. And they're lying to you. Just like they lied to you and told you that Hillary's going to win. They're lying to you. What's really going on is everything Trump's doing is mastermind. And I told you that's 48 laws of power he operating off of. Straight up, 48 laws of power he operating off of. Mastermind shit going on right now. Now, build and destroy, right? Smoke? Am I tripping?
Nah, they making power plays. They making power plays.
That nigga destroying everything. We don't even know. He still don't even got his cabinet filled yet. How about him? He still got nominated people lined up that haven't even been approved for his cabinet yet. We have no idea because the media lies. So the media lying to black people, and they telling you right here off the clip, this is what the game plan is. 2018, when all these black people over here think, oh, Yakuwan is
all loose
no,
ends,
the white people
all
doing,
weak
they
links,
replacing the Republicans.
getting up out of there.
Man, shit. I'm about to say the rest of this shit.
Yeah.
Staff for came out and said that he's going to set up an exploratory committee in North Dakota. In North Dakota, we don't have it. That's Hoskin. Well, we're going. By the way, we're going to Mississippi against Waka. We played McDaniel, Mississippi. These names are all going to come out over the next couple of weeks. So it's not going to be. I know a lot of people didn't like in 2010, for example, Delaware. Well, I thought Christine O'Donnell was a nice woman. But you're picking rock-solid, credentialed candidates. Spending a ton of time with the grassroots organizations to make sure that these candidates are fully vetted. You're going to see people announce this week they're going to have experience in government. You're going to see some outsiders that are authentic, and these people are real. It's not like 2010. 2010 was the beginning of the Tea Party when things were first getting going. You're going to see real candidates, and by the way, they're going to take on incumbents in every state, and they're going to take on the Democrats after that. You said in the 60 Minutes interview you're a street fighter. I'm a street fighter, too. I noticed that. Okay. You noticed that? I'm not supporting any Republican incumbent that hasn't gotten their job done. Not once, Steve. I refuse. They have betrayed the American people. They have betrayed their promises. How do you make a promise for 7.5 years and not fulfill it? It's a lack of sense of urgency. By the way, these guys work 3 days a week. The American people now are people working 2 jobs. Their wives are working 2 jobs. They know the urgency out there on the economic hate crimes that have been perpetuated on the American working men and women in this country because of the trade deals. Is this a fair statement? Is Steve Bannon declaring war on the establishment that are not for the working men and women in this country? 100%. We are declaring war on the Republican establishment that does not back the agenda that Donald Trump ran on and the President of the United States, and that is an agenda that we know backs the working men and women. This is basically a war because you know what McConnell did in Alabama, and you know there are people out there. Listen, I had donors. Karl Rove is going to put in all their money. Karl Rove, Stephen Law, these guys should get the joke. Their donors are coming to us because they're tired of having their money burned up by trying to destroy people like Judge Moore. It's a new game in town. We're going to cut off the oxygen to Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's biggest asset is the money. We're going to make it the biggest liability. We're going after these guys tooth and nail. Does that mean that people that voted in 2010 and 2014 and 2016, now they have to wait till a victory in 2018? That's a long time for the American people to wait. Take your country back. It's not going to happen in just any one election. This is something you're going to have to grind out day in and day out for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. It took us a long time to get here. There's no magic wand we can wave and drain the swamp. There's no magic wand we can wave and blow up this establishment. I hate to tell people you're going to have to work, but you know what? The grit, determination, and courage of the American working men and women, we're going to win. I'm glad you're not going after Cruz. I've already endorsed him. And I'll tell you why. Ted Cruz is a good man. Ted Cruz is one of the few that he stood there and said, we have the constitutional authority to not fund Obamacare. And his own party betrayed him. They're good men. I got to tell you, we are even safe opponents like Barrasso and Deb Fisher. They have to understand something. Just voting is not good enough. You have to have a sense of urgency. Nobody's safe. We're coming after all of them, and we're going to win. Street Fighter Steve Bannon. Good to see you.
They see that, Smoke? Do that sound like somebody bullshitting.
Say you're a street
You
fighter.
see? No. It ain't a street fighter. You gotta listen to what the liberal media talk to you about, and then you gotta listen to what the white people saying the definition of the fucking word. When you listen to them talk about, the drain the swamp shit, and and Donald Trump said he's gonna drain the swamp, but he looks like he is the swamp. Ha ha ha. No. What they're saying is they're rearranging, rebranding, and recasting new fucking Republicans that's gonna work for the white agenda. The Richard Spencer dude already said the Republican Party is now the party for white people. Steve Bannon just said it ain't gonna be like the Tea Party. That was just the beginning. That was white people, I guess, being woke. You see what I'm saying? That was them being woke. That was the first black president, and they said, "Yo, what the fuck? Oh shit, we done lost our country." And that's when they started to move and mobilize and do what they're doing. So while we're sitting over here now letting another set of white people tell us, don't worry about it, we're going to impeach Trump, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. And instead of black people doing what we have to do to better ourselves and to create a goddamn economy to sustain ourselves, we're not. What happened was Donald Trump won the presidency because they played the chess game. And they won through the electoral college. Cool. Donald Trump ain't able to fucking pass no laws. He ain't able to pass no laws. None this year, right? But guess what? 2018, he's going to get a whole new set of players. Now, is it going to happen or not? That's what we're supposed to be looking for, black people. If we see all of a sudden, this old Republican got voted out, and this off-brand person got voted in that you never heard of, don't look at that as nothing. That's your clue to say, oh, shit, they are rebranding the fucking Republican Party. This is how the clues work. This is how real information works. Not that fake shit you're going to get from these so-called black leaders who want to commit you down to fucking hell, you know what I'm saying? No, the real information comes from people that understand how to disseminate information. How you disseminate information? You don't be insecure, and you listen to motherfuckers talk. When Donald Trump have speeches, you know what I do? I listen to it while I'm at work. Why? Because I want to hear what the fuck they saying. I listened to a speech recently, Smoke. It was some new shit, something voices, something. When I get the name, I'll say the correct name. Something voices something with a voice is in the title. But I heard him talking, and he says to the white crowd, "Yeah, remember how it was? We're going to get it back to how it was back in the day. Yeah, we're going to do that. That's what we're basically like. We're going to rewind time, and we're going to bring this shit back to where we was back in power. We want these trade laws back, right? Hell no, you ain't getting no fucking nukes. Give me that. Nah, hell no. Cuba, nigga, you back on the fucking terrorists, nigga. Fuck you, Cuba. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We getting this shit back in order." I told y'all when Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton was running that the fucking the white Englishman came over from England. It was speaking at the American Heritage Foundation or whatever the fuck that shit's called, and was telling them, "Listen, we done lost our identity in England. You don't want that to happen to you. Y'all need to close y'all borders. Y'all need to," and all of this shit was happening. The black people ain't paying no attention because y'all got your head up some fucking liberal white people ass who's telling y'all, "Don't worry, we'll protect you. Don't worry, we'll save you." And that's what y'all looking for. And speaking of that, damn, Smoke, I forgot we didn't even get to do the damn Eminem shit. You wanted to do that? You want to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't know. That's cool.
Yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Let's do that tomorrow. Because, I want to, that's how important that shit was to me. I keep forgetting about talking about that dumb shit, but we'll talk about that shit tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll make that the title. But yeah, this whole black identity extreme shit is just to scare black people, the weak black people back to sleep. That's it. It's going to pull the silly black people out who going to want to run into the fucking arrows and shit. You know what I'm saying? But all we need to be doing, black people, is building our families. That's the first agenda on the list. Build your family. When you build your family, that's how you build wealth. That shit might sound stupid. That shit might sound funny. But all that other shit, man, work on your family. If you got children, if you're blessed enough to have children, especially if you have little children, or even if you got older children, work on your family. Build your children up. Give them the keys and the tools and the knowledge and the information, that strength. Guide them. Don't push them on into these sports and entertainment. Put them towards that math and that science, engineering, things of this nature where they're building and creating and crafting, being contractors and stuff like that. That child and that child's wealth will trickle back down to you. And guess what? When that child and that child's wealth trickle back down to you, you're still going to have the energy to be able to enjoy your life. So don't be stingy and say to yourself, well, I want to do it now. Don't worry about that. Worry about your child. Build your children up. That's how you acquire wealth. The ones with no children, what I suggest for you to do, look for businesses like industry-type businesses, things like making shit. We need forks, spoon, utensils, plates. We need the toilet tissues and the paper towels and the Pampers and the, sanitary napkins, and we need the art decorations. You know what I'm saying? We need the instant holders. We need the Tupperware plastic dishes, and we need everything because we don't make anything. But see which one you can handle. See which one that you can do. See if you can say to yourself, you know what? I know how to make. I can make fucking. I could get money, let's say from tax time, right, and put that money towards a machine that makes. I don't know. I can't think of something off the top of my head this quick, right? Like I said, forks. I don't know. Plastic forks or something. I don't know. And you do that, right? Underwears, I don't know, something, socks, right? We need businesses like that. We don't need no more restaurants and beauty supply stores and all that shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We need industry-type business. We need things where we can hire people on an assembly line and get work out. You see what I'm saying? We need stuff to fill up Dollar Generals and Black Family Dollars. We need shit like that in the hood. Black Family Dollars. You dig what I'm saying? Where when you go inside there and shit, we could afford that. You see what I'm saying? But these are products that we're making. And just research how much these machines may cost. You might see a machine, that shit might be $100,000. Nope, can't afford that one. You might look at some other shit and you're like, oh shit, this shit right here is let's say $10,000. It might be a fucking print machine and you making shirts, baby attire, where you got pro-black baby shit. Where, you know what I'm saying, like onesies or some shit like that. Something where we could, basically what I'm saying is, if when something happened again, when another unarmed black kid get killed, when another injustice happens to black people, that's always going to happen, and we get all outraged and we want to move our money somewhere, you have product. And then you could say, we know what black mothers, or come, you know, say I have these onesies for sales, I have these T-shirts, I have underwears, I have undergarments, I have socks, pro-black socks, so you can have the stripes red, gold, and green, red, black, and green. I have them in different black people from the diaspora flags on the socks. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever like that. And it's like, we can now start to support your socks, your towels, your rags. You know what I'm saying? Things of this nature. You know what I'm saying? It could be small stuff like a comb or a brush, a fingernail clipper. You know what I'm saying? But these are things that we need. You know what I'm saying? So we need to start to look into these things and say, well, how much do that cost? You know what I'm saying? Let me inquire, what does it take to make this? You know what I'm saying? And can I do that? Because trust me, you will be one in a million within the black community doing that if you think like that. If we keep going the route of the monkey see, monkey do. Oh, your kid went to football, my kid gonna go do football. Oh, your child acted, my child acted. Oh, your child dancing, my child dancing. Oh, your child rapping, my child rapping. You know what I'm saying? And it's like everybody want to entertain and shit for that little bread. But we hear the stories of Terry Crews getting his dick felt. You know what I'm saying? And shit like that. So it's like, you want to have your child in an environment where they're getting preyed upon? Or do you want your child inside of an environment of engineering and technology where, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to say, you know, if they're going to get preyed upon or not, but at least, you know what I'm saying, you could have your child in a situation where, shit, they could be strong enough to fight some geeks, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can teach your kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that, but, you know. But, yeah, but tomorrow I'm going to get into that Where Do We Go From Here Now book, too. I'm going to read a couple of pages and whatnot from there because I like to read from here because I want to show, I'm going to definitely read it from here. I'm going to read from this book tomorrow after we get into the Eminem shit because I'm going to show the correlation with that whole white ally shit and show the sentiment of black people in 1967 about that, you know. But, you know, until then, we're going to, you know, talk more about that tomorrow. You know, thanks for the support. See us on the YouTube, In Black America Radio, on YouTube, Instagram, In Black America, In Black America 7 on Twitter, In Black.America on Facebook. And, you know, we're slowly working on that Patreon page, you know, to post our shit up on there, and working on other little shits. But you got anything you want to say, Smoke?
Nah, I mean, pretty much wrapped it up. You know what I mean? Another show in the books. Thanks for the support for the people. I mean, just keep on listening.
Salute and Black Power. Peace.